standing on top of Mount Norwottuck. Good morning and welcome to Outdoors with John. Today is a chilly morning. It's about 34 degrees right now. We're in Amherst, Massachusetts on the New England Trail. We're going to hike sections 8 and 9, which is going to be a total of about 7.1 miles. Our first challenge will be Mount Norwottuck, which is going to be a little over 1,000 feet. After that, the hills are going to get easier and it's going to get pretty flat. We can already see over here Mount Norwottuck. All right, we've come to our first trail junction. We're about a mile into our hike. We're still working our way up to the summit of Mount Norwottuck. But off in the distance is Bear Mountain. In between us and Bear Mountain is the Notch. All right, we've reached the summit of Mount Norwottuck. We're 1.2 miles from where we started at the visitor center. We're gonna go check out the view. Enjoying the view of Amherst down below, UMass. Valley. Connecticut River is off to our left. It's pretty windy up here today. The rest of the summit right here. We're just below Mount Norwottuck, looking over at Mount Long in the distance, which we'll be heading out in that direction on the New England Trail. We're checking out some of the views here near the summit of Mount Norwottuck. I could see why this would be a popular place. You really do get a commanding view of the valley here. We're looking east towards Boston. Quabbin Reservoir will be out there past the next set of hills. Now we're looking north towards Amherst. Just came to Horse Cave. It's more of an overhanging cave, as you can see, but it's certainly interesting geographically. The trail heads up through that crack in the rocks, which we just came down through. All right, we're 1.9 miles into the hike. We just came from Mount Norwottuck and the visitor center. This is a junction with the Robert Frost Trail. It's actually 1.8 miles back to the visitor center this way, and 1.9 in the direction we came. It's just 2.5 miles into the hike, and we've come to a town line marker. On this side of the marker, we're in Granby, Mass. And when we come back around, we get an A for Amherst. Okay, we're about 2.65 miles into the hike. And over here is a sign where the blue trail continues on to a Rattlesnake knob. And the M&M takes a sharp turn back on itself right here. So we just came from here on the right and we're gonna go that way, but we're gonna go a short distance up this blue trail to check out Rattlesnake Knob. We've reached the end of the Cudback Trail, which was that blue trail that takes us to Rattlesnake Knob here. All right, we're standing on the edge of the cliff here, Rattlesnake Knob, and we're looking off at Long Mountain, which is kind of next on our agenda. We are at Rattlesnake Knob. It's pretty windy here. Hopefully the windsock is helping out. We're looking north into the town of Amherst. I think off to our right here we can see some of the buildings of the University of Massachusetts Amherst. And if we look through the trees here, we can see where we just were, Mount Norwottuck. We're 4.6 miles into our hike. And off to my left you can see Mount Norwottuck over there. We're on one of the last knobs here on Long Mountain, and pretty soon we'll be hiking to the summit of Long Mountain. From here you can see off in the distance, you can see the Holyoke range. Seven Sisters on the end would be Mount Holyoke. And across the river, much further down, would be the Mount Tom range. G is for Granby. Right now we're in Granby. And if we hike over to the other side, we're going to be back in Amherst. We're 4.6 miles into the hike, and we are in the eastern end of Long Mountain. If this isn't the summit, it's pretty close to the same height as the previous knob that we were on. Right now we'll be heading downhill till we get to Harris Mountain Road, and then I think that'll finish section 8, and we'll be working on section 9 after that. 4.8 miles into the hike. We just came off the New England Trail from the Notch Visitor Center, and we're all the way down Long Mountain. This should wrap up section 8. I believe section 9 is next once we cross the road here. Okay, we've just crossed Harris Mountain Road, and it's 2.6 miles to Federal Street, which is where we're planning to wrap it up today. It should be mostly flat. This is section 9 of the New England Trail. Reached Bay Road, a busy road, and the way down is along this steep hill here. There's a rope to help. All right, we've got about a half a mile left before we get to Federal Street, the end of today's hike. So rather than wait till we get to Noisy Street, I kind of thought I would wrap up the conversation here. Section 8 and section 9 of the New England Trail. Section 9 is more of a connector. I would say section 8 is phenomenal. The hike started off with some great views east of Mount Norwottuck, and then we went up Norwottuck. We had some great views from up top there, looking east from the mountaintop and west from the mountaintop, Mount Barry on the west, and looking at Long Mountain. On the other side of Norwottuck, we did Horse Cave, which was really cool. Some very neat rocks. Then we started climbing again. We went up to Long Mountain, which offered us some great views, looking back west at Mount Norwottuck, and some great views of Amherst as well. We also had, in between Mount Norwottuck and Long Mountain, we had Rattlesnake Knob, which in itself also produced a great view of both Amherst and of Long Mountain. So I just want to say thanks for coming along with me today. I really appreciate it. It's a great hike. Cold winter day, but nonetheless, great to be outdoors. All right, we've reached the end of section 9 and the start of section 10, which is Federal Street. Mount Lincoln is 4 miles. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for coming along.